exactly that. And I've been coming to work every day to a job that I absolutely love. But so I could talk about feeling on hold rather than actually feeling diminished.
Right. Now, can I tell you about my experience?
Absolutely.
I had COVID. My goodness, it was the worst thing I've ever been through. It was horrible. In the middle of it, I had a doctor call me from the hospital, "Oh, your mum's in the hospital with COVID, but she's fine." And I said, "Look, you're going to have to call my sister because I'm really not well." And they said, "Oh, yes, we can hear that you don't sound well." A few days later, called me back. "Oh, I just want to tell you your mum's passed." I couldn't go to the hospital. I said, "Look, you're going to have to call my sister because I'm so ill." And and in the midst of that, call my sister, said they didn't like the way that I sounded, but because I have a faith in God, prayer, fasting, everything, I got through it. But post-COVID, it's worse.
And the reason why I stopped was to make sure he could see me.
I do a lot of
And if he's going to give me an instruction, it's for me to follow.
Now that I'm sort of coming out, because it gives you such a weakness in your body, headaches a lot. Anyway, I decided I would do some exercise, 3 minutes.
It's a closed junction, lots of cars turn in. It's used on test routes to travel into this road and travel out. So it's very important that you take your time, get into the end, and you're aware of potentially cars driving in.
Victoria Station, there's a lot of stairs to get upstairs to the Circle 9 or District Line, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk. My legs.
Absolutely shattered.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I managed to get where I was going. Coming back.
You know there are escalators. I've done it again. I do apologise.
No, the part where I go, there wasn't no escalator.
No, you're right. Bits of them, the little staircases, the shorter one. No, you're right. Victoria in particular has plenty of them, doesn't it?
Right.
Go on.
Anyway, and coming back, I suddenly didn't know where I was. I couldn't figure out where I was going. It suddenly, my mind just went blank. I was like, what is going on with me? Anyway, finally made it back home. Called the doctor and she said, yeah, that is part of it. She's had patients call that you get this brain fog, headache. Oh, it's horrible. And a friend of mine that I know,
It's not just him doing a parallel park, it's the car behind him. So I'll ease off my gas a little.
Is it getting better? So
He's waiting there for him. I've checked my mirrors, it's safe, I'm going to continue.
mental side, because that's all physical.
Oh gosh. The thing is, while I was having it, the COVID, I live on a main road, so right near traffic lights. All I could bring was ambulances going back and forth. It was horrible. Then there was letters put from my dog. Oh, this one's died, that one's died.
I've eased off my gas a little. Carpet man doing whatever he's doing.
Then my brother-in-law, he was ill with it. One of my sisters, she's diabetic. She passed out with it. She was really badly. It was horrible. My mental illness.
Although the road's closed on the left, I'm making sure that there's no emergency vehicle or somebody coming down the road.
My mum was going to cough in.
And there's a sense, like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but because the world has been turning in such an odd way, and we've been focusing on, I think rightly, I don't know whether there was any choice but to focus on the search for a vaccine, the counting of the casualties.
Is it the silver bullet that people think it is? Because now, with all this business with the AstraZeneca,
I'm going to park, I'm going to avoid obstructing a driveway. I'll park where this grass verges, close to the curb, but not touching the curb.
Listen, you make some you make some valid points.
When I'm moving off, I'll make sure I check my blind spot.
That we allowed it to be turned in. They were talking about putting flipping flags on it at one point. So now it's the UK's medical agency that's expressing.
Think about when everything opens up next week.
I'm waiting for the van to go.
Really see what people are going through, right?
I think you might be right, but I just want to pick up on the AstraZeneca. I'm sorry, because I want to challenge the hesitancy. You make sense, you sound intelligent and thoughtful, so I'm not in any way poo-pooing you or dismissing you. But if you were to read the little leaflet that's in your paracetamol box, you would read about, so all they're doing is looking for, and they are infinitesimal chances, but they are real chances. So it's responsible science, it's expertise, it's important, but it doesn't undermine the efficacy of the vaccine. The likelihood of getting a blood clot, even if it is proven to be linked to coronavirus, the dangers of that are not just dwarfed.
Nice and
they're
gentle.
absolutely-
Just in case there's a vehicle coming around the corner.
Obliterated by the dangers of not getting vaccinated. So
Right.
don't go.
What about the people that cannot go? My daughter, she's got MS, and she's under the hospital where she goes every 3 months, 6 months. She has these
Yes.
medication pumped into her. They've told her not to take it.
And that's why everybody else has to, because the herd immunity, such as it will become post-vaccination, is partly designed to help the people that can't take it. So the likelihood of her ever infecting it diminishes every time somebody else gets vaccinated. But we've gone off on a bit of a tangent. Are you in a better place now? Are you feeling better? I'm sorry for your loss.
Much better. My faith has come back.
Well, you keep saying that. and
Now
I
here,
think
look at how the road bends.
but
Follow the curve, follow your line,
plays a part
make
as
sure
well.
you
It's
stop the car
cards that we
appropriately.
use, the tools that we find that help us deal with problems that we can't deal with on our own. So for me, I realised when I went into therapy that what I had done and continue to do in prayer actually plugged a lot of the holes that therapy now helps to plug. It's not either or. It's not one or the other. But that idea of just not feeling quite capable of being able to pull it off on your own. It doesn't matter where you get that help from, as long as you are getting help that feels helpful. And for Sharon, it's faith. 29 minutes after 11. I'm going to introduce you to somebody after the break who is, in many ways, across all of the issues that we've been discussing now. It's the lawyer representing Belly Majinga's family. You will remember that Belly was a London transport worker who died of COVID-19 after allegedly being spat at and then deliberately coughed at while on duty. And the family are still seeking some sort of justice. We'll find out more about that after the very latest headlines with Dominic.
A 24-year-old carer has become the first person in the UK to receive the Moderna coronavirus vaccine. Elle Taylor was given her first dose at a hospital in Carmarthenshire, with ministers revealing the jab will be rolled out elsewhere in the next few days. Brazil has, for the first time, recorded more than 4,000 coronavirus deaths in a single day. Some hospitals in the country are said to be at breaking point. And the European medicines regulators expect to outline its recommendations for the AstraZeneca vaccine later, following concerns about potential links to rare blood clots in a small number of patients. A trial of the jab in children has been paused in the UK while regulators investigate. And the weather. Most areas dry with a mix of cloud and sunny spells this afternoon. Snow showers becoming confined to northern Scotland. Cold but less windy. A high of 9 degrees. LBC.
As businesses prepare to reopen, keeping staff and customers safe has never been more important. That's why at Trusted PPE, any of
It used to be the national speed limit. It's now been changed.
and 5-litre containers of hand sanitizer, now available with a 20% discount. Order before 4 p.m. weekdays for next day delivery from trustedppe.co.uk. Together, we've got this. Minimum order applies. Rated excellent on Trustpilot.
It's only big enough for one vehicle, that. Be very careful. Travelling up to 40, not at 40.
The new Samsung Galaxy A52 5G also is for everyone. Search A52 5G to find out more.
Can you see the walkers? You have to look out for people that may be in the middle of the road. They should be facing oncoming cars, which they're doing now, which is perfectly reasonable. Just make sure your speed is appropriate. And there's your cyclist as well. take the next road on the left.
This cash offer with immediate payment terms, conditions and guarantee information on our website. From one special
Which is just over this bridge. Over this bend, sorry. It's here. Speed limit changes. This is a red route. It means you cannot stop here. So these double yellow lines, you cannot park here. And the reason for that is there's an airport. So we're by Leeds and Bradford Airport, which is on the left. Essentially, it's for safety. So it's very important that when you are asked to stop anywhere around here, it won't be here. It's illegal to stop here, so they'll never make you do anything illegal. This area obviously will start getting busy once flights are permitted. Currently we're in lockdown, so although the lockdown's easing, flights are minimal. Not cameras, the runway lights for the airport. So the yellow lights you could see there, they're not the cameras that you see on York Road, or what some people call vulture cameras. Speed limit changes again. And I don't know what you were doing. So if it's no left turn, it can only go to the right. And now it's one way.
But there's also an employment issue. There's also profound concerns about how she was treated by her employer in general and a specific supervisor in particular about whom she complained in February.
Yeah, it's quite murky. So one very kind of look at the employer asked Network Rail for CCTV to investigate what they call a safety incident. Now,
Immediately there's a roundabout here.
So by the time the police became involved in May, all the original CCTV evidence had been deleted.
They didn't ask for the footage until she was passed away.
Yeah, until the invasion. So 3 or 4 days after she passed, finally began to investigate and requested CCTV. Where it gets really strange then is when BTP get involved in May. Of course, Network Rail claim they've deleted all the original CCTV by then because they say it gets automatically deleted after 30 days, which is one of the problems we have with the employer taking so long to act informing police. So I've seen CCTV now. CCTV, if you watch it, you get 243 frames a second. You allow stills from the frames to get better pictures of people. The CCTV I watched was very grainy. You can't see the guy's mouth, you can see his face. And it's like watching stop motion, like when my 9-year-old son produced
Got a mini roundabout here. I'm going to turn right here. I'm going to follow the bus.
So there's several cameras that you've obviously seen footage that wasn't destroyed, just in case anybody is confused. But if you can access the stuff that was destroyed, it'd be much better quality.
Yeah, so basically when BTP instructed those and they asked Network Rail for CCTV, they said they didn't have it. Then they asked
So we're in Yeadon now, Yeadon High Street.
they produce something. Now whether they produce the original CCTV or recorded it, I don't know. But all I can tell you is if you and I had sat around a table
You'll notice that I'm close to the bus,
and watched that CCTV,
but I can see past him. I can see past his door mirrors. Essentially, that's what you should be doing. You should be making sure that you're reasonably close, so you're following traffic, but you're also aware of what he can see. So is he stopping because it's a bus stop? Is he stopping because he wants to stop? Or is he stopping because he can't fit through? So I can see his door mirror, his driver's door mirror. So I'm always making sure I can see his mirror and I can see past him. Then I look to the left and I can see, I'm adjusting again my vanishing point, so I can see what he's doing essentially. But then with that, I'm also concentrating on how far back I am, and when I do stop behind him, am I obstructing junctions or driveways? So he's turning right here and I'm going to go ahead. Check my mirrors, make sure he's safe. Making sure the cars in front don't chance it. Pull the car a little to the left. So I'm on my side of the road at all times. Now this is a very narrow road. How do I know it's narrow? I'm watching a transit van and this white van in front of us, and he's very close and he's almost touching the line at all times. So I know if there's another vehicle like him coming on the opposite side, if he's not within his lines, he's going to be over his lines. Now I'm close to my line because I'm looking in my door mirrors and I can just about make out the line on either side in my door mirror. So I'm about a foot away on either side. And if you look at the white van in front of us, he's either touching one line or he's touching the other. And it's something that you need to be aware of on roads like these. The speed limit on some sat-navs, the ones that don't auto-update, it'll still show national speed limit of this road. The speed limit's been adjusted now, it's 40. It used to be the national. So it's important that you're aware that the speed limit has changed. And also the general sort of rule is, if there's street lights, they're evenly spaced apart. It's 30 miles an hour unless road signs or markings tell you otherwise. We can see the works lorry over there. I've just adjusted my speed just in case you come out. Also there's muck, as in mud, on the floor. That affects your braking. So if it was raining or if it was snow, I would have adapted my speed accordingly. It's important that you're aware on roads like these, they're developing now. So any green bit of land in Horsforth, Eden, Bramhope, it's sought after. It's a very affluent area to live in. So what people do is people sell their land off, developers take it, and developers are building homes on it. To build them they need plant machinery. Plant machinery throws up mud. Making sure I'm not going over the centre line as I'm travelling into my new road. This was the road that we went up earlier on. And I'm doing 25. So don't worry even if you're travelling at a reasonable speed. If it comes on, as long as you know that you're travelling at an appropriate speed, you're fine. As long as you're not going over the speed limit. So when that sign flashed, it was warning me that the school children, I was doing 25, so very reasonable speed. It's telling me the road ahead is closed, but it's pointing with an arrow, so it's telling me the road on the right ahead of me is closed. So the third exit on the roundabout would be closed. It's showing me a diversion. I'm watching the transit van drive as well, the Royal Mail one. Then I'm looking at the white transit van and the green lorry. Looking at the black van now, the black transit van. And because the lorry's parked there, it's going to slow traffic down. So this road is used by buses. So it's very important that you watch your speed when you're on this road. And make sure you make sufficient mirror checks. So here, when I turn right, on the left, the train station's here. So if somebody's coming down this road to turn right, make sure you understand where they're going. And when you are turning right, make sure you're not obstructing the vehicle in front of you turning right. What you may have to do is the offside to offside. And if the offside to offside is scaring you, or you don't understand what I've just said, you're not paying attention to your lessons. Watching a white coloured car, and he stopped, and I'm watching the car behind him. So I'm slowly carrying on, but I'm looking for where I'm going to put my car to go through this gap. This is sufficient gap. So I'll ease off a little, let this white car go, this other white car follow, I can get through as well. So we work together, all three of us. I'm going to take the next road on the left, and you'll see taxi man travelling at 500 miles an hour.
This is a new announcement by TTP Financial Compensation. Following our success assisting clients of the MI Group and Lincoln Financial Group, we're extending our claims management service to anyone who purchased a freestanding AVC pension following advice from any insurance company or bank between 1988 and 1996. Text TTP to 60075. We can find out if you qualify, even if you no longer have the policy or policy details. Don't delay, as time...
They didn't have to, they could have just completely carried on. It would have been reasonable. But sometimes people feel under pressure.
Free to the firm concerned or through the Financial Ombudsman Service.
Selling your car can be a tough job, but there's no drama with Motorway. At motorway.co.uk, you can sell your car like a pro. Motorway finds your best offer from a nationwide network of verified dealers. You can get up to £1,000 more than part exchange. Go to motorway.co.uk and sell your car like a pro.
place to park near the test centre. The test centre is after this skip, after these row of cars, where this bus is coming up on the left. And this is exactly where we started. So essentially it becomes a loop when you're doing a test. I mean, that wasn't, you know, you're not guaranteed to have this as a test. It's just to familiarise you with the area that you're in, so you understand roughly where they'll be taking you on your driving test. So you do approximately around maybe 12 miles. It's about 35 minutes sort of driving, 40 minutes, depending on traffic.